Hi everyone, it's me Deanna, and this video is all about the beloved Mother Kali, who is very active on our planet and working for the highest good of all, and she will totally help you transcend all fear into love if you call to her. So I came across in one of my books written by Paramhansa Yogananda a beautiful description of Kali Ma and her symbols, and I'd like to share that with you because I think he says it really well. So when Paramhansa Yogananda was in the West, he was at a function and he was giving a discourse, and one of the members in the audience asked him a question, and this is what they said. They said, "You know, one thing I cannot appreciate in the Hindu religion is that it's a plethora of gods, and I just don't get it. Like, what is that all about?" And Paramahansa said, "Yes, I agree, there are many. Each, however, represents an attempt to remind us of God and to remind us of God's innumerable aspects." Well, that's really awesome, because if you've ever gone to India, especially Christians, Westerners, or go to India and they see this plethora of gods and they just wonder what is going on with the male deities and the female deities. What are all of these meaning? And you know what we always do when we don't understand something, we just attack it instead of investigating and researching. So Paramahansa goes on to say, so all of these innumerable aspects of God are abstractions, a way of saying no human being can really understand what God is. But here, at least, is something that he does. So he says, take, for example, the image of goddess Kali. This is a good case in point, because out of all Hindu images, Kali has been the one most misunderstood by Western minds. So Kali stands naked, and her right foot is placed on the chest of her prostrate husband. That would be Shiva. So Kali is the absolute divine universal mother goddess. She is Shakti, pure Shakti energy, and she's got one foot on the chest of her divine consort Shiva. Her hair streams out. I mean, it's wild, and it's disheveled, and it's behind her. So remember, everything is symbolic. Even in your own life, everything is symbolic of something deeper. It's like we look and we see the external, but what is the meaning for the soul? We often say when we travel, it's history and then it's her story, which is the soul. So also, Kali has a garland, that's like a rosary, of human heads that adorn her chest, around her neck, and in one of her four hands she brandishes a sword. It's like a sickle, and in another a severed head. It looks really gory. Her tongue is usually painted a bright red, and it lolls out as though in bloodlust. So at this point, the fellow that asked the question, the Christian, shuddered. And you know, he just thought that was so gross. And Yogananda grinned roguishly. And he then went on to say, if we thought that this image depicted Mother Kali as she is, he continued, I grant you it might awaken devotion in very few people. Very few devotees would be awakened by that image of Mother Kali. It's so fierce looking. However, the purpose of that image is to describe certain universal functions of the divine in nature. Then he goes on to say, Kali represents Mother Nature. She is Om. And we say it all the time. Om Shanti. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Mahakali. Om is the cosmic vibration. So Kali is energy in motion. Everything starts to vibrate. In Om, everything exists. All matter, all energy, and the thoughts of all conscious beings. Hence, her garland of heads, she's got all those little skulls around. They show that she is invisibly present in all minds. And in other, I've read in other cases where people have written that those skulls represent she has, destroyed all desires and thoughts and lust and greed, which is all thoughts in the mind, these attack thoughts. She's destroyed them. And so then she has this garland of skulls to represent that. So the play of life and death expresses her activity in nature. She is creation, preservation, and destruction. And I want to show you something. I thought this was so interesting. So a number of years ago, I was in the backyard. It was on a full moon, and I was doing a ritual celebration prayer to Divine Mother. It was a Friday, and I was praying to Lakshmi. That's the beautiful statue I have there in the background. And Jamie was with me, and you'll see that I still have black hair. Jamie has long hair. It's a long time ago. And we were in this prayer, and when my late husband came home, I asked him to take a picture of the altar we had and everything else, and he did. And when we got the picture developed, this is what we saw. Let me get the glare off of that. Can you see the three flames here? And you couldn't see it with the visible eye, but they appeared on the photo when it was developed, and I really felt that this was the Divine Mother in her triple goddess, letting us know that she was very much present. And you know what? The Mother is very much present, and she wants to work with you. She wants to devour your attack thoughts, and she wants to liberate you from suffering if you will just surrender your life unto the Divine Mother. So these garlands of heads is to show that, she is invisibly present in your mind. And as Course in Miracles students, we know that the spirit is in the right mind. So this Kali, this aspect of the Mother who wants to just liberate you from suffering and destroy all those attack thoughts and work with your daily life and show you that if you just surrender to her, you can live a life of peace, joy, and happiness. She's there in your mind the whole time. So even when you think you've separated from God, which I always say could never happen, she is with you. She's so powerful. So the play of life and death expresses her activity in nature. As I said, she is creation. So she makes things born again. She regenerates. She preserves the good, and she destroys what is no longer useful in your life. And I mean, you got to be ready to work with the spirit. And actually, we're always ready to work with the spirit. We just don't know that we are. But when you finally say, take my life, use my life, I want you to tell me where to go. I want you to tell me what to say. I want you to tell me what to do. When you can really work with this beautiful Mother aspect, you will have peace in your life. Her activity in nature is in you. Creation, preservation, and destruction. So she also has the sword. It looks like a sickle. Where am I here? So hence the sword, the head, and the third hand extended, which is bestowing life. So she has 4 arms when you look at her picture. And she's letting you know her energy is omnipresent, and hence her streaming hair representing energy is wild and disheveled. You can't push her down. She's just everywhere. She's all-seeing. She's just constantly overshadowing your life with her protection. Shiva, her divine consort, he represents God in his vibrationalist state. So pure consciousness, beyond creation, static energy. It's just there. And you see in the photograph that Kali has her foot on Shiva. And it just means that Kali is the female aspect, which is energy in motion, pure vibration, and Shiva is pure consciousness, male, static. So Shiva is a corpse without Shakti, and Shakti is nothing without Shiva. They work together, energy and pure consciousness. Kali's tongue is protruding, not in bloodlust, as most people believe, but because in India, when a person makes a mistake, this is Yogananda talking, he sticks out his tongue like, oh, you do that too. I mean, I do. It's like, oh, we bite our tongue. So in the West, you don't express embarrassment. Don't you express embarrassment somewhat similarly? That's what Yogananda is saying. You put your hands on your mouth like, oh my God. So Kali is depicted as dancing all over creation. And this dance represents the movement of cosmic vibration in which all things exist. When Kali's foot touches the breast of the infinite, Shiva, however, she puts her tongue out as if to say, uh-oh, I've gone too far, for at the touch of the infinite spirit, all vibration ceases. So that means when you touch the hem of the Christ, I said that on Sunday, when you are aligned with this pure bliss, Satchidananda, this unmoving energy within you that's pure consciousness, all vibration ceases. All energy, all movement, it just ceases within you, and you are one with the divine. Kali's fourth hand is raised in blessing those who seek not her gifts, but liberation from the endless play of Maya or delusion. So seriously, when you are ready to work with Kali, she will seriously work with you. I mean, that aspect of the mother that will just work to bring all the darkness that you have, all this fear and greed and anger and lust and impatience and you name it. When you call to her to work with her, she will just, help you get rid of it, and she will cut away the delusions in your mind and get you off that wheel of samsara. So Yogananda says, those who feel themselves attracted to nature's outward manifestation, so when we're busily being attached to form, then we're going to just continue on this reincarnation wheel of samsara. It's like life and death and life and death, incarnation after incarnation. And Kali really works to get you off that wheel of being born again into suffering. The devotees, however, who deeply long for freedom. So do you long for freedom from this crazy delusional world of Maya? If you long for that and you want to be free from the cosmic play, then we are going to worship God, the indwelling self, the light in us. We're going to worship that with the Holy Spirit in our mind and get off that wheel of samsara. And that is what Kali is going to help you do. Through meditation, the devotee merges into the infinite Om, into that beautiful Om. And then from oneness with Om, they pass beyond creation to unite their consciousness with God, timeless, eternal bliss. The statues of Kali are not intended to depict the Divine Mother as she looks, but simply to display her functions in the aspect of Mother Nature as creator, creation, preserving, and destroying. The Divine Mother is, of course, without form, though we may say also that her body is the entire universe. Everything, the planets, the stars, the nebulas, the wormholes, other worlds, parallel realities, all of that. Her body is the entire cosmos with its infinity of suns and moons and you name it out there. Asteroids, it's all energy in motion. It's all the mother. So she can appear to the devotee in human form, however. I remember one time I was at the ashram with Swami Kalashwar, and he talked about when the Divine Mother appeared to him in form. And that can really happen to you. The Divine Mother can actually just show up in your life in a form that you recognize, and that is beautiful. So when she does so, she's enshrined in supernal beauty. So when she does show up to you, she's just pure radiant, pure light, pure radiant glory of God. Yogananda then says, all the images of gods in India are symbolic. We must look beyond their shapes to the hidden meanings they represent. And that comes from his book, The Essence of Self-Realization, Ways in Which God Can Be Worshipped. Okay. Then I went and looked into some of my notes regarding the Kali Yuga, according to Sai Baba. And you know, Sai Baba says the Kali Yuga is a time of opportunity, and we are in the Kali Yuga now. You know, we went from the dark ages, or not the dark age, the golden age, and then we went to the silver age, and then we went to the bronze age, and now we are in the iron age, which is actually the Kali Yuga, a time of opportunity. So here's what Sai Baba says. The beginning of Kali Yuga traditionally dates from the death of Krishna, the 8th avatar of Vishnu. Sri Sathya Sai Baba has confirmed that the Kali Yuga began December 20th, 3102 years BC, which was the day when Krishna attained Mahasamadhi. As predicted several millennia ago, Bhagava Purana, the present dark age of Kali is the time of increasing deterioration, disorder, and decline. I mean, we're in it. Full blown. We are in it. Our planet is moving, you know, the Divine Mother, if you will, she's moving to a higher level of light. And so she's purifying everything that is not of the light. She's purifying your mind. She's just, you know, Mother Nature has her way. And we're seeing that now. But the Kali Yuga at the same time is a period of great opportunity, because it's the time in which spiritual advancement can be made most quickly. Isn't that interesting? So it's in this darkest time on the earth that we can advance more toward the light very quickly. As Sai Baba tells us, the liberation itself can be easily attained in the present age of Kali through, it's so simple, holding the name of God in your heart, remembering the name of God, chanting the name of God. In other words, remembering the name of God, which is, I am. I am that I am. So, you know, we can go deeper into that, but it basically means that I and my Father are one, and to remember that all day long. So this is a little excerpt from one of Baba's divine discourses. He says, this Kali Yuga is praised in the scriptures as incomparably conducive to the salvation of man. For he can now attain the highest through the mere thought of God and remembering his name. I am the Christ in you. Wake up and remember. So of all the yugas, this yuga is described as the most holy. Isn't that interesting? Out of darkness into the light. From the darkness comes the light. The darkness is the great revealer of light. So this age is the most holy. Meditation was prescribed as the means of liberation for men in the Kali Yuga. That was, thousands and thousands, 10,000 years ago. Asceticism was the means during the Treta Yuga. I think that would be the Silver Age. And ritual worship in the Dwapara Yuga, which would be the Bronze Age. But for people of this yuga, which is also the Iron Age, the simple remedy prescribed is nama samarana, which is remembering the name of God in you. I am that I am. You are this beautiful emanation of everything that God is. The great Creator created you in its image and after its likeness. Remember that, never forget that, and nothing has power over you. So the constant awareness of the name is your salvation in this dark time. In spite of this, it's a pity that men don't care for this path, and so they render their lives barren wastes. Don't do that. Don't waste your day. Don't waste your time distracting yourself with conspiracies. There's all kinds of conspiracy issues out there. They're all so interesting, but they are distractions, because anything in the external world that you get yourself caught up in is distracting you from remembering God's name. That's what's important. The spiritual discipline for each age has been prescribed, and the prescription for your healing, for the liberation of your suffering, is focus only on the light. And that's going to save you. Don't get distracted and caught up in all that nonsense externally. Okay, if you focus on the light and you know who you are as the image and likeness of God, and you look at those things, you can just go, that's interesting. But other than that, it has no meaning, because remember, at the end of the day, nothing in this world is real. It's a distraction from keeping you from remembering who you are. So anyway, I want to point to my beautiful Lakshmi there. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful Lakshmi. By the way, Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance. She's another aspect of the divine, and her day is Friday. We used to do beautiful puja fires for Lakshmi every Friday, and we just invoke her great power. But the great universal Mother Kali is the one that we're working with right now, because she is the great destroyer of those attacked thoughts, and she can grant you liberation from suffering. So let's work with Mother Kali as we go through this time of dealing with the COVID-19 and everything that comes with it, which would be our economy. You may be worried about your future and the future of your family and friends. Prayer is, dear God, may we all wake up and know ourselves as the image and likeness of God. But for you and for me, because you're here listening and I'm saying it, our job is to get to the front line, put our light on that lamppost, and represent He that sent us. So with that, I'll see you on Sunday. Remember, we're live on Sunday for A Course in Miracles, 10 o'clock here in Malaysia. And I've got a great topic lined up. I'm looking forward to seeing you all then. But until then, I just want to tell you, I really love you. You just know that I do. And I know that we love each other as divine light workers holding that light. So until Sunday, I'll see you in a few days. Bye for now.